Mary McCarthy, you're out shopping here in Bantry today. Can you tell me, what do you think is the important election issues in Bantry?
For Bantry, the most important at the moment probably would be any cutting of services at Bantry General Hospital. That would be the main concern.
Okay, and how do you think Bantry is faring?
I think Bantry is doing pretty well. We've good representatives here who have an interest in the people and in the people of the town, also the surrounding areas, particularly in the rural communities.
Very good. And would you say who you'd be voting for?
I wouldn't be prepared to say yet. I haven't quite decided. I'll keep that one under my cap for the moment.
But you're satisfied? Okay.
I am, yes.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you for talking to me. Danny Smith, you're a local artist and a postman, and I've interrupted you on your rounds to ask you a few questions.
No problem.
What are the election issues in Bantry?
I said the main one for me would be rural Ireland. I think it's disgraced the way the government is treating it, you know.
Okay.
I think
What
the
specifically?
politicians in Dublin seem to think everything stops at Dublin, but there's more to that. You know, it's sad they're seeing places closed down and pubs and restaurants, and even the tax on the food now that's gone back up to 30. It's ridiculous, like. You know, all these small shops, even in Bantry, you know, small shops, restaurants, they all supply people, they employ them. You know, the people in college and they come back for the weekend and gives them jobs, and most places are kind of closing, like, because they can't keep between insurance
Okay.
and the taxes and all that. You know.
Yes, the insurance certainly is an issue. Will you be saying these things to local politicians when they come around?
I definitely will, yeah. You know, even health and hospitals and that is, like the Children's Hospital in Dublin, I know it is very important, like, but what they overspent on it is ridiculous. Like, you know, if there was any other business, there'd be people sacked over it, but it's the same circle of cronyism, you know.
Are you concerned about the hospital here in Bantry?
Oh, I'm very concerned, yeah. You know, it's great for the Bantry and local area, and Castletownbere, Alleys, Iries. But now Bantry is like, geez, they have to travel miles, like.
Okay.
You know?
There has been a lot of investment in Bantry in recent years.
Oh, they have, yeah. But in fairness, like, Bantry's it's coming up leaps and bounds, you know, and even there's a fierce community spirit here. You know, even the shops and locals and that, like. But we're still, you know, we still could do with more, like.
Okay.
You know.
And do you have any political leanings, Danny? Are you voting for any one person in particular?
I keep that a secret.
All right, Danny, thank you for talking to me.
Thanks, Jackie.
Sarah Harrington, what are the election issues here in Bantry?
Well, I think recently you're probably aware of Bantry Hospital is our biggest issue here now at the moment. You know, I think anybody you speak to will tell you how important it is to us. Not just us, people far and wide.
Okay.
Without Bantry Hospital, we're just another number on a trolley in CUH, which is already full to combustion, you know.
Okay. And can you tell me, are there any other issues around the town that you think deserve attention?
Roads.
Okay.
As always, I think most towns will say it, but yeah, especially our roads, you know, coming into Bantry and leaving Bantry, it's very important, you know.
And do you think you're well represented in Bantry politically?
I think Michael Collins really stands out. He really does listen, and he, you know, he's a normal Joe Soap. He's not somebody that's living in Dublin in their own Dublin bubble. You know, he sees for himself what all these things means to us.
Okay, so I'm guessing you're voting for him.
Absolutely, yeah. Michael Collins, number one, yeah.
All right then, thank you for talking to me.
You're very welcome.
What are your politics coming into this election?
I've maintained that, to be honest with you, but I'm also a firm believer in individuals who've proven themselves in the past, work-wise. I'd certainly consider any party if the people are delivering locally. I know that when you run for election in the Dáil, it's supposed to be more of a national thing, but the reality of it is really, at the end of the day, local people are voting for locals to deliver. So
who's delivering?
Michael Collins certainly has been up there. I mean, anybody living locally can see that he's doing a lot of work on the ground. I don't agree with one or two things that he has been done in relation to the 8th. I was kind of, well, not surprised, but I mean, at the same time, I think overall he's really a really community-based person at the moment. We really need that down here.
All right, so that's translating as a vote for you.
I'm considering everybody, but yeah, I would certainly be considering Michael as a vote, yeah.
All right, so what's right with Bantry and what's wrong with Bantry?
What's right with Bantry? I suppose Bantry in the last number of years, I suppose, you probably may be aware of the project group that was started about 2 years ago. Myself and Adrian Cronin in the Business Association got Deirdre Fitzgerald to chair a combined committee of all the different groups in town, and since that has happened, there's been a really good cohesion. So a lot of different projects have taken off as a result, which is fantastic. And that's the town finally working together. There has been a few difficulties in the past with that happening, and that's coming together now. And as a result of that, other bodies outside of the town, such as the county council, I suppose, and any other group like that, they can see that the town is working hard to develop. So it's quite positive that way.
And what's not right with Bantry?
Bantry's fantastic. We've a long way
What
to
do
go.
you need? What's your shopping list?
Well, our shopping, we need, I'm in the restaurant business, but we need more. And I'm glad to see that O'Connor's restaurant has been taken on by, I haven't met the guy yet. It's a decent sized restaurant at this time of the year, off season. It's good for business for the rest of us, but during the summertime, if Bantry wants to develop and become a bit more of a destination, we have to provide good food all year round, really. There's room for a few more restaurants in town as far as I'm concerned. I think that we really need to focus on developing one of our biggest assets, which is the harbour, and that's kind of ongoing at the moment with the Port of Cork and Cork County Council and the Bantry Marine Community Group, who are in the process of developing a marine centre in the Abbey area. So hopefully that will all come to fruition in the next number of years. It's a slow burner, but
Yeah. Actually, Dermot, it was remiss of me at the start not to say that you're chairman of
the Bantry Business Association.
and
Bantry
you're working
Business Association.
in close association on all these projects.
Yes.
Very
would
good.
be, yeah.
Now, before I switch off, anything else you want to add?
I suppose the biggest thing at the moment is going into this election, and I don't know if it's going to make a difference if we lobby the current TDs, because we don't know who'll be sitting there after the 8th of February. But Bantry Hospital is the biggest issue at the moment in Bantry, as far as I'm concerned. It's a community hospital, it's a general hospital, it's been the backbone of the town for a number of generations now, and any moves by the HSE to downgrade it or do anything will be met with a lot of opposition, and I firmly believe that the people that in the HSE are responsible for this should look beyond their accountants and realise the value of this hospital in the area as a backbone of the community.
Okay.
As the fabric of the rural lifestyle. Minister Ring should be down here and to see what this offers the town, as he's involved in he's the minister that deals with rural affairs, and also Simon Harris. Again, do we talk to these guys, or do we talk to the likes of Jerry O'Dwyer, the HSE, whoever it be? They need to know that it's more than a financial issue, a cost issue around the hospital. This is beyond. You couldn't describe how valuable this is in more ways than one to the whole area of West Cork and South Kerry as well.
That's great. Thank you, Dermot. Trish Messon, you're the owner of a busy business here in Bantry, but can you tell us what are the election issues facing the town?
I think Bantry Hospital, rural transport, getting people in and out. I think the local community are very good. You know, we get together. We had the Save the Kelp campaign. I think the community getting together is just fighting different issues.
Okay, and are you saying that you don't have any faith in the politicians, or do you think they're doing their bit?
Yes and no. I think it's local politics, so they can't drive the big issues. But they can start the change, I suppose, really.
Okay,
you know.
so they do have influence, is what you're saying?
Yes, a little bit, yes.
Okay, and Tricia, are you likely to indicate what your political preference would be?
I think I might go Social Democrats, maybe.
Okay.
Holly.
Very good.
I haven't decided, or Denny, or Noel Collins, Denny's brother.
Michael Collins.
Michael Collins.
Yes,
Oh my God.
no problem. That's fine.
Sorry, Michael.
Yes, it's early in the day. And can I ask you as well, Trish? There has been a lot of investment in Bantry. Do you think the town is thriving?
Yeah, it's beginning to. I can see it. You know, there's a bit of development. There's, you know, they're the walkways in a bad way, and that's being developed now again. It's been closed off for a couple of weeks, so they're redoing it because it's been sinking with the few storms we've had. And yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, it's a pretty town.
It is a pretty town, and just on that, the town is one best kept town in Ireland. Do you think that has engendered greater civic pride?
Sorry?
Do you think that has engendered greater civic pride?
It has, definitely, yeah. I think we're all aware the No Poster campaign is really driving it now, and you know, none of us want to see rubbish around.
Lovely.
You know.
Any last thoughts, Trish?
No.
Thank you.